What's up, everyone? Welcome to a True Underground Story podcast. I'm the host, Timmy Burner. Today I'm with Chris Daley from OnlyNoise. How you doing today, Chris?
Yes, sir. I'm doing great. How are you?
I have no complaints as of right now.
Hey, that's always good. That's a positive.
Yeah. So let's just start off with, how did you come up with OnlyNoise?
Like the name, or
like the whole concept, because I know you're like a one-stop shop almost. You've got Studio 423 now. You're a videographer. You're a photographer.
Yeah. So I guess it started back 2011, 2012. Like I was going to Wright State, and my good friends in college were music artists. So they were started to do little college shows and things like that. And really it just kind of started with, they were like, hey, we need somebody to film our sets. And I was like, well, shit, I'll do it. So they gave me like a little GoPro, and I was like using my hand and just filming their sets. And then it was like, damn, we didn't really make any money off that show. Like, what can we do to make money? And I was like, why don't we start throwing our own shows? So I started booking venues and booking them to headline and, finding other people. So that got me into shows. And just kind of doing that allowed me to step kind of in a management role to, my friends, where they were all super talented. So we actually started a group. It was it's called Stay Gold Collective. So I don't know if any of you guys are hip or have heard of Stay Gold Collective. It's a little older, but all of the artists that were in Stay Gold still make music today under different names, and they're all doing their own thing now. So everyone, and they're all doing really well still. But so that was something that I started. Traveling with them, getting them booked in other states, other cities. We would go down to South by Southwest. And I would always bring them, and so I've always just been grouped into music, right? I actually got caught up in some shit, and I went to prison for a little bit. So some people know that, some people don't. I went to prison for a little bit, so that's why Stay Gold kind of fell apart, right? I was gone. I was gone for 18 months. So the whole time I was in there, I'm thinking, okay, what could I have done differently with the music stuff? What am I going to do this time around? How can we do it? So I'm just, taking all those trial and errors that we had back then. And I was like, I've got this vision. I've got this plan. So when I came out, my brother makes music. I've worked with him forever. He's one of my favorite artists for real. I listen to all of his music, all of his stuff. He's got a song, it's called Gas and Recoup. It's a little older. And it was when I was kind of, trying to think of names of what I wanted to call it this time. And one of the lines in his song, he said, Daley got hits in my zips, OnlyNoise. And I was like, oh, I heard the OnlyNoise, and I was like, oh yeah, that's it. That's it right there. That was like, OnlyNoise, I like that. That's the name. So just me being into videos and what I do, me always being surrounded by artists and what I have, that's kind of where OnlyNoise kind of got put together. And I used to do First Friday events at Therapy Cafe. I was throwing shows out with my homie Sam Rothstein out of Columbus, and we were throwing shows every weekend or every few days. We had shows at different venues in different cities and stuff. And that's where I got kind of big doing that. I was booking a bunch of artists, but then COVID hit. So then I had to stop doing shows, and I was like, damn, what can I do? And that's when I really started to focus in on being a videographer and that area of the skill, rather than throwing shows and artist management. So that's OnlyNoise in a nutshell. and now you mentioned Studio 423. That's a new venture, and that was really the only piece that I was missing. Where I'm really happy to have, shout out Hank and Josh, my two engineers. I've known them for a while. I think they're goated be recording people. They're really dope engineers. So to have them be able to work with the artists that are booking because of my brand and things, I trust those guys with my brand name for everything that we're doing. So, and now I can handle an artist project from recording, cover art, graphics, you know, lyric videos, music videos, whatever that artist needs, we can literally do everything now. So,
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome that you kind of like got everything figured out. And now you really are just like this one-stop shop where an artist, if they have like their vision in mind, can just come to you and you guys can help from producing the album, well, not producing, but recording the album. And then if they have like visuals in mind, they've got you that can come through.
well, we can even produce an album. We can even produce an album. I have producers now that like are sending me a bunch of beat packs and things, and guys that really want to work with what we're doing. So it's like one of those things. Like if I have a serious artist, someone that's really serious about this, really trying to work, I can do everything within our team, and we don't have to step outside anywhere. So it's a blessing to be able to do that now.
So let's rewind a little bit. So where are you from?
I grew up in Monroe, Michigan. So I was born in Toledo, Ohio. I grew up in Monroe, Michigan, just south of Detroit there. Still got family there. Zach, my brother, he still lives up there. I moved in high school in like the Marysville, Columbus area. We moved as a family, so I graduated from like that area, but then I went to Wright State. So, and then I graduated from Wright State, and I've been here ever since. So,
what was like growing up in Monroe, Michigan, just like right outside of Detroit? What was that like?
Monroe's kind of like a small little town, but I was really active into like sports and stuff as a kid. So, and Monroe is actually really big for hockey. So like I grew up playing hockey. I grew up playing soccer, basketball. I played basketball all through college. Like I was a really athletic person growing up. So I mean that's really what I did, and a lot of my friends came from playing those sports, and there's still people that we grew up with on the same street that I still talk to today. So shout out Dev, shout out all the Fanolas, shout out everybody in Monroe.
When you decided, like you said, when you got out of prison, and Stay Golden kind of separated and you created OnlyNoise, what did like your family think when you told them what you wanted to do with creating a whole new brand and trying to build your own company?
My parents have always been really supportive with what I'm doing, and I've never had to ask them to pay some bills or anything like that. So really, I've just been like a hustler. They worry a little bit because in their mind, they thought that being in the music industry and like the stigma that kind of comes with that was the reason that I got myself in trouble, which that had nothing to do with it. So it was like they were just worried about, was I going to go down like a similar like path and get myself back in trouble, which is not the case. So we're good. And like I do work for my parents. My parents have their own companies and stuff, so I've designed graphics and logos for them. I've done drone work and stuff for them. So I do all I'm a oldest of 5. I've already knocked out the like sets of senior pictures, so I got to do the senior pictures for everybody else that's coming up. So I mean, they know, like I live with my camera, like, so I'm constantly doing stuff. I'm constantly working, and that's the drive. I'll say shout out to my dad for his work ethic. Like he really, like, he's the one, even though he had a job, he was always doing 3 other side projects, just to hustle and do his own shit. So that's where he's at now. He just starts a bunch of different businesses.
So
what's up, Dan Tyler?
You just recently held a concert, the OnlyNoise summer party. What was the process like for you getting all that put together, renting out a place and throwing a concert?
So as I mentioned earlier, I used to throw shows a lot. So I'm pretty experienced when it comes to throwing like a bar show. That the whole process for Summer Party was pretty cool. I've done shows at Blind Bob's in the past, so they actually reached out to me and was like, "Yo, like, what, are you back doing shows yet? Like, we want you to come do a hip hop night, like, because they don't really do hip hop, which hip hop sometimes gets, a bad stigma of what the show is gonna be like or
Yeah.
things. So a lot of people like when I can throw hip hop events because they're like, we've never had an issue at your shows. You bring good artists. It's like, it is always fun. So they actually reached out to me, and I picked a date, and we locked in a date. And I picked every artist on Summer Party except for the person who won the contest. So I reached out, it was just like, I'm throwing a show. I know you guys have been asking. Like, I want you to be a part of it. Like, come do 3 songs, like real quick stuff, which as long as you're super organized when throwing shows, you can put 15, 20 artists on a show. I've seen
Right.
people that do those 15, 20 artists on a show and they start their show an hour and a half late and then it's 2 a.m. and you still got to get the last 10 artists on stage and people are fucking now throwing fits and arguing or getting cut, their sets are getting cut off, and that's just a whole ass mess. So me, I was real selective with who I choose. I like handpicked chose. I got a good DJ, and the DJ Coda, he was asking me about doing a show for a while. So really just tapping into my resources, all the people that I fuck with and listen to their music and things like that. I booked them for the show, and then once I put out that initial flyer and everyone's in my inbox, yo, how do I perform? Or you got more slots? Or can I pay you for a slot? I'm not, there are so many people that offer me money for a slot. And like, I just said no. I said, if you want a slot, come get in this contest and win it. Like, and that's the whole thing is my, like, OnlyNoise. It's about the music and it's about, like, putting those right people together. When you have shows sometimes with, like, big name artists and then, the promoters or people putting on the show need to help pay for that, bringing in that big artist. So then they're offering $350, $400 slots for an artist to do it. They don't care about if that artist is talented or not, is if that person is going to, like, add value to the show. It's just they're just trying to get their $400 back real quick. So I think that goes a lot into getting professional people whose music sounds good to put on a whole good show. Because there was people there that showed up right away and they were there the entire night and they were like, damn, every single person was dope. Like, and that, like, that makes me happy. That I take pride in it. Like, that's what that's about, Like, okay, even this dude that has 30 followers on Instagram, like, his music is just as dope as dude that's got 8,000 that, like, like, that's what this shit is about. Like, that's what I like to do. So
Yeah. How did you end up linking up with like C Money Baby and becoming like good friends with him? Because you've done multiple videos with C Money. You've hung out with he's with you a few times now. I've seen.
Yeah.
How did you guys make the connection?
Damn, I was trying to think. Really, like, I've always just, obviously I fuck with Cam's music, C Money Baby's music. He's one of my favorite artists. I listen to him all the time. Dude, I don't even really remember specifically when I first met him. It was years ago. And then I started booking him, and me and Cam, we've always just had, like, a good relationship with people, with each other. Like, it was real as fuck. Like, I know I could literally call him right now and he'll pick up, and like that's mine and his relationship. So it's just been like that. It might have been through Ash Matthews at Raise the Bar. Me and Ash used to be really close on doing a bunch of stuff. But then I know even back before then, I was working with him. He's done ciphers with me. It's literally just always been, anytime I ask him for anything, he's always just down to do it. And I even remember specifically telling him, like, I was like, damn, for the longest time, I've been just such a fan of you. I thought that you were, like, unreachable for me. You know, like
Right.
if I hit you up, you weren't gonna answer or anything like that, and it's never been like that. So, and once I realized that, I was like, oh shit, I can hit him up and I can plan this and we can do this, like, and he does it and we do it, and it's like I love that relationship that me and him have. I couldn't even tell you the first time that we talked or how I met him or anything like that. For real, like it's just it seems like it's just always been there.
You do vlogs for the OnlyNoise channel.
Yep.
Recently you had done a vlog with J. Wright and Bubby Galloway. What was that like rolling around with those guys?
That was a cool experience. Getting to go and work with them. I've never really worked with them before, so it was cool to work with them and whatnot. I'm sorry things didn't really work out the way that I thought that we were gonna keep growing and working together, but it was a cool experience getting to go to doing the Jelly Roll tour with Bubby. That was awesome. We went and hit a few shows. Minneapolis and Indianapolis and Minneapolis. So that was really cool. Minneapolis, the building was the rave at the Eagles Club, which was like it's a super historic building. It's like a giant old building. It's got multiple levels. Like you could probably throw 10 concerts at once. There's different rooms of all these different stages. But then there's like the main room that holds, giant, like thousands of people. And there's like balconies. I don't know. It's fucking dope. But the history in that building, the history there is sweet. Like we went down to like the main headliner green room. It was like I thought we were already in the basement, and there was like more stairs going down. Like we just, we were down there, and then there's like this big window, and you look out, and it's an indoor pool. We're like, what the fuck? And it's supposed to be like this haunted pool, right? They say that like all the spirits of the building and everything are in there, and they actually, like, someone that works there brought us all in for a tour, and it's where all the artists that come through there sign all of the walls. And then actually in the pool, big name artists, people who have like really Mac Miller and freaking Marshmello and Alice in Chains and Machine Gun Kelly, like big name artists, they sign in the pool, Khaled and things like that. So it was cool to go there and tour that, and that's actually like you can look it up, the Mac Miller pool. If you just type that in on Google, you'll find a bunch of info about it. But Mac Miller signed there, and I told you today, I don't know how I miss Mac Miller being one of my top artists. I was like just writing stuff out. I literally listened to Mac all day today. When I woke up, I was like Alexa, play Mac Miller, and he's been playing all day long. And then I was like just in my thoughts earlier, and I was like, I sent him my top 5 artists, and I didn't even put Mac in that bitch. Like, I got to. But yeah, so like for me, going to a historic place like that with Mac being my favorite artist was like the coolest experience about the whole Bubby like thing. Like getting able to like go and do that and just be in a place like that. It was the opportunity.
So kind of backtracking a little bit, you had brought up like live streams and stuff. What made you decide you want to start doing your live streams? And for anyone who's watching that's never seen OnlyNoise on their YouTube channel, correct, or is it Twitch?
Yep. And we're gonna do it on Facebook now too. So it's gonna be live on YouTube and on Facebook.
OnlyNoise, you usually have a guest with you, another artist or just anybody sometimes.
Yep.
Where they review your music. Sometimes, a lot of times, they send you unreleased stuff, don't they?
Yeah. It got to we built like a little culture there where people were sending in like their favorite songs that they had out, their best songs. But then it's a lot of the same artists that tune into the shows, each and every week. I would say there's probably probably like 40 to 50 artists that consistently tune into the shows. Now, granted, only 15 might tune in this week, and then the next week it's a different 15. But it kept pushing those artists to send me new things. So now, like, if I'm live this Tuesday and they send me in something, they know I'm going live next Tuesday. They start to work on something, and there's artists that literally are like, okay, I gotta get this next track done, to send it in. And it's like, this is what I worked on, or this is something new, like, give me some critique. And like, that's awesome. That's like what I wanted that show to be. and the networking that goes on inside of like our track review shows is great. Like there's artists from all over the world tuning in that start to feature with each other, and then they feature with each other and send it into the show the next week. Like it's sweet.
Recently on your podcast, Paper Talk, you had a guest that's pretty viral on TikTok. I don't know.
Yeah.
Seresto? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
What was that
Seresto.
like getting to meet him?
That was a really cool experience. I went with my girlfriend. We went down to Warped Wing Brewery downtown in Dayton, and it was one of her friends is really big into TikTok, but we wanted, and so she was like, "Come to this TikTok meetup where there's gonna be these people here," and we're like, "A TikTok meetup? Like, we'll go have a beer, like, you know, it's at the brewery, like, but sure, we want to see you." And at that point, like, I've been trying to do a little bit on TikTok. I actually haven't posted on TikTok in like 2 months. That I got to get back on that grind. I was really good. I was posting like 7 to 10 times a day, but then when we started to build the studio, and I just I couldn't do it anymore. So we go there and we get a beer or whatever, and then like her friend shows up, and then Seresto walks in, and he's got the button up and the big hat, and like just really like loud personality, like just coming out, and he just walks right up, "Yo, what's your TikTok?" Da 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 da. And like I open up, I put in my thing, and like I follow myself, and it goes back to his page, and I see that he has like 800,000 followers, and I'm like, huh? Like, whoa, why? Like, what? And he didn't even care that I only have, 2,000 followers on TikTok. It was just like, oh, what do you do? Like, and then as soon as I told him I was a videographer and stuff, he was like, oh, let me see your work. Like, let me see what you're doing. And like, as soon as I showed him some photos and videos, he was like, yeah, take my phone number. Like, I need to work with you. And he's from Toledo, Ohio. So it was really cool because he's given me a lot of pointers, and just to see how he acts out in public. One thing that he said, because he was dancing the whole time in the brewery, like you don't see that, right? Like,
right.
And are you gonna get up and start just like talking randomly in a brewery? Like if you go, probably not, right? But you do these podcasts, and you want strangers to tune into your podcast. So why don't you want strangers to tune into you in real life? And when he told me that, I was like, huh. He goes, and because a new song would come on, and he's like, I gotta go dance to this, and he would start dancing. And what is everybody in there is doing? They're looking at him, like, but that's what he wants, right? And then
right.
and then he, goes around and is talking to people, and I'm like, that is why this man has 800,000 followers, is because everywhere he goes, he is interacting and being social with people, not only on his phone, but in real life. And he's like a social, personable person. And all he does is jump back and forth to different TikTok meetups and meet a bunch of people.
I had you give me some artists.
Yep.
Start with your brother.
I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot on this one. I'm not good at this shit.
It's not as bad as people think.
All right.
So with your brother, he only has the one album on Spotify and Apple right now, but he has a lot of singles. So why don't you just, for your brother, just give me your top 5 songs from your brother.
Oh, top 5 songs. Oh, see, okay, all right. I'm gonna say. I really like the one that he just dropped, the Long Gone song that just came out. It's a really, really dope song. I like that. 'Cause We're Up Now and This Is How We're Living are 2 just like fun, like kind of good vibe songs. Man, I almost want to throw Gas and Recoup on that, just because that's where the OnlyNoise song came from, and that's a little older of a song. And Zach has a really dope catalog, for real. Like, even if you go back and listen to his SoundCloud, like before we started putting things on all platforms, his melodies and wordplay and things have always like been there. It was always just the quality of the recording and music that are coming out. So okay, Gas and Recoup will be 4th. Oh, he's got so much in the vault right now too. That's the thing is, like,
You got all the inside information.
man, I do, and that's a bad thing with. I'll say me, and just to not off topic a lot, but people send me their unreleased music all the time, right? And I love fucking music. So if I love a song, I have it in my email, and I listen to a lot of people's unreleased music all the time. And so it's like I listen to songs for like 3, 4 months before they come out, and then by the time they're out, I'm already listening to the next batch of like unreleased music. Like I have like 3 music videos locked in with C Money, and like I have like 10 probably unreleased C Money songs in my inbox. So it's like I'm listening to like his unreleased. So there's a Truth Live song, that's gonna be dropping. With Zach, Truth Lives and Money Falling Out of Pocket. Those two are gonna be dope. So I'm just gonna put those on my top 5 list right now.
All right. So next we've got See Money Baby. We've got the 4 projects on Spotify and Apple. I'll have you put them from your favorite to least favorite. We got Cut Different, Smart Boy Dumb Decisions, Don't Forget the Baby, and Smart Boy Dumber Decisions.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the Smart Boy Dumb Decisions is because More Often is like one of my favorite songs, and like he's got some really good stuff on that one. And then Don't Forget the Baby has some really fucking fire songs. Red and White Roses, I believe, is on that one, and Smiles on there, and like that project was really, really good. And then I'm probably gonna go with Cut Different, and then Smarter Boy, the Dumber Decisions, the newer one that he just dropped. Because on that one, there's a few songs that I really like, and then some of them I just like kind of I don't want to say take it or leave it because I don't skip any of his songs, but
right.
I usually pick the ones on the other projects.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Now we got Post Malone.
Okay.
We've got Stoney, Beer Bongs and Bentleys, Hollywood's Bleeding, and 12 Karat Toothache.
Yeah, so God, are those his, I guess those are the 4 most recent?
I think Stoney was his first one, like, that's on Spotify right now, because he got rid of a lot of his old stuff.
Yeah. Well, see, because that's the thing for me is did you do any Post Malone research when it comes to me? Do you know our connection at all?
I do not.
Oh shit. Okay. So back in 2012 with Stego Collective, and I was taking them down to South by Southwest. We got booked. My homie Jordy used to have a brand called Animal House, and they had a stage that they were throwing a show at, and the headliners were like Dej Loaf and Chance the Rapper and somebody else. But like Lil Uzi Vert was also on that, Post Malone, and Stego Collective. I have the flyer. It's all of us. No one knew who Lil Uzi Vert was. No one knew who Post Malone was. He had just dropped White Iverson, and it was on SoundCloud. It just started to pick up traction. So we actually, one of the artists that was in Stego Collective, he was like, "Oh, look up this Post Malone dude. He's got this song like White Iverson." I was like, "Oh, that's fucking fire!" And so the whole way we were driving to Texas, we were actually messaging him on Instagram. We're like, "Yo, this song's dope. We're like excited to like meet you. We're on the same show," and he's just messaging us back and forth. And like we get there, I'll have to send you the picture. Like the day that I met him, like he looks no tattoos. Like he's wearing a big pink shirt with a white sweatband and cornrows, like the White Iverson, big pink teeth. And so like I got his phone number. Yeah, I'm sorry, I get a call. I got his phone number, and I was like, "Yo, I have to bring you to Ohio." And so I ended up in 2015 bringing Post Malone to. I threw a show, Midwest Summerfest in Middletown, and my 2 headliners were Post Malone and Blackbear. And then like I filled it out with a bunch of other artists and shit. It was really dope. But so I knew Post like way before he even dropped like Go Flex and like all this stuff. So he's just always been like one of my favorite artists. Just to see him go from dude that was texting me to the stature that he's at, you know, like before his thing. So I really appreciate a lot of his older stuff. Posty was a dope album. I really liked Hollywood's Bleeding. Beer Bongs and Bentleys has a lot of just radio hits, like all the real like popular like radio hits, and then everyone that was kind of to me was everyone that was like his industry like kind of album. And then this 12 Karat Toothache is some different shit, but I kind of vibe with it.
Yeah, I agree. 12 Karat Toothache is a little different. Like it's more, he opened up more. Like he's more emotional speaking in that album than his other ones. Like you can tell that album he was like trying to express like what he's felt. Well, since you brought it up, what was it like meeting Blackbear then? If you were able to get Blackbear as a headliner too, because I fucking love Blackbear.
Oh, he was dope. So I got to pick him up from the Cincinnati airport, picked him up, and he came with his manager at the time and a traveling drummer. And they actually had to go to like fucking Guitar Center or something to buy like a new drum kit, or I don't know, it's crazy. So like I picked him up from the Cincinnati airport. We actually ate at Waffle House, so I got to eat at Waffle House with Blackbear. And he's not big. This was before like Gucci, like before he got the Gucci collab and everything. Like, I mean, he was big, but I paid Blackbear $1,500 to come to Ohio to perform. I paid Post Malone $3,500. Like that's
crazy.
what. Yeah, I have a buddy, a college buddy of mine, Paul Reed. Shout out Paul. He's helped me out a lot in everything that I do. When me and him graduated college, he went EDM and I went hip hop. Paul so far has had a way more successful career than what I have. He lives in Miami. He's got like a penthouse in Miami. He is the head marketing director for like EDC and like all of this shit. But Paul called me like in 2018 or 2019. They were trying to book Post Malone for the Miami, one of the Miami parties or whatever. And he called me. He's like, "Hey, how much did you pay Post Malone?" And I was like, "You're gonna fucking laugh like when I tell you what I paid for him." And I was like, "I paid him $3,500." And he goes, "This motherfucker just told me $260 grand to book him for a festival." And I was like, "Yep." Like, yeah.
God damn.
So
Definitely.
Blackbear was cool as shit, like dope as fuck. That like me and Post Malone back then was cool as shit. Like he's a really cool, humble person, just likes Bud Light and likes to make music.
Yeah, I got put on to Blackbear through a different artist because I started listening to him right before he did the song with Gucci. He did a song with Hoodie Allen and Hype, and that's when I found him. And I was like, "Oh, I like this dude's sound." And went and peeped his music. I was like, "Oh yeah, this fucking dude's dope." And then next thing I knew, he fucking took off. I was like, "Fuck."
That song, "Oh Lord," the "Oh Lord" song. Oh Lord, that white on white on white on white. Both my trucks and both my bikes. He played me that song right after he made it, and we picked him up from the airport. He was like, "Law, listen to this shit. I was just in the studio. We made this. What do you think?" And then I heard it. I was like, "Ooh, that shit is hard." And then he dropped it like 8 months later or some shit. I was like, "Ooh, I know that song."
Next artist we got Kendrick Lamar.
Yes.
So
I just fuck with Kendrick. Like, I don't know. He's a goat.
I forgot to write one of his albums down. But so we'll start. We got Section 80, Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, and Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. And then he has another one that I forgot to add to this list because I fucked up.
See, yeah, I would the Good Kid, Mad City, Damn era. Like what were the ones in between there? Good Kid, Mad City.
There was To To Pimp a Butterfly was in
Pimp a
between
Butterfly.
Good Kid, Mad City, and then Section 80 was right before that. That was like right before he got signed by Dre.
Yeah, Good Kid, Bad City was like one of my favorite albums. Money Trees is one of my favorite songs. Damn was a dope album. I actually really liked To Pimp a Butterfly too. That might be my second favorite album by him. Damn was really dope too. Just the visual aspect of Damn, I really liked. So yeah, I'd probably go Good Kid, Bad City, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, and then I don't even know a fourth one. I'm a big I love a lot of Kendrick's features, like a lot of songs that Kendrick just does as like singles and things, more or less like album Kendrick. I feel like he's a different person. He's always telling like a whole ass story, in all of his albums. So he's one of those artists I really appreciate his singles. I appreciate the albums too, but
yeah, I mean, he definitely had like a whole like when he does albums and it kind of started around Good Kid, Bad City. His stuff prior to that, it was just more like really lyrical and what he is, but he started like having these like stories he was telling with each and every single song.
Yeah.
And, like, newest release, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, it quickly became one of my more favorite albums of his because it's very emotional. Like, he has a song We Cry Together on there, and it's fucking good. But
see, that one just came out like a month ago?
Yeah, it's about a month ago.
About a month ago? See, so I actually haven't listened to that whole album yet. And I'm weird about it. I have to be able to sit down and listen to an album from start to finish when I do that sort of stuff. So that's why I can't speak on the new album yet. I have heard songs off of it, but not the full album yet.
Last, we got Mac Miller.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and put them in order because I had ended up realizing I was missing three iconic, well, not two of, one of them I'd say is iconic, but I realized after I'd already wrote them. So there'll be, the last three are out of order, but we got Blue Slide Park, Watching Movies with the Sound Off, Good AM, The Divine Feminine, Swimming, Circles, Kids, I Love Life, Thank You, and Faces.
Okay, so like the Kids album and Blue Slide Park will always be like that was my Mac Miller like era, that was
Kids,
me.
Kids will forever be.
Yeah, so like when those songs were playing all day today, like Kids and Blue Slide Park. I just got to go to Blue Slide Park last year. Went to Pittsburgh. I have my dogs with me. And went to Blue Slide Park. There's people writing Mac stuff everywhere. Kids still using cardboard to go down the Blue Slide Park. A bunch of people were going just to take pictures with it. A little Mac memorial bench, and like I just had my headphones in, listening to Mac. Had my dogs with me. Was just like walking around. It was fucking awesome. That's what I really like that. So I'm gonna say Kids and Blue Slide Park will be like always up there as the top two albums for me. I actually really enjoyed The Divine Feminine. That honestly, that might be that's number 3 for me for sure. I really enjoyed that album. Swimming Then Circles, I think would be the Good AM, the Watching TV with the Sound Off. They were good albums, but like I listen to all Mac. I listen to all Mac.
What was your favorite track off Kids?
Kids? Oh shit. That was Kool-Aid and Frozen Pizza. Hold on. That's what I'm trying to think of all the specific names.
Kool-Aid and Frozen Pizza are probably tied for me with Senior Skip Day, just because I remember playing the fuck out of that in high school.
Yep, Senior Skip Day. and Kool-Aid and frozen pizza, yeah. But then like you get like Blue Side Park, you get like the Frick Prick Market, you get all that like fun stuff. I don't know, but yep.
So recently, you got to work with Young Buck and Drummer Boy. What was that like for you, getting to go and meet
That
those
was
guys?
Bro, that was dope. Buck is, I mean, obviously, I'm 31. I grew up listening to fucking 50 Cent, the G Unit, Lloyd Banks, like the whole Young Buck, like the whole G Unit shit. Like, so when I got the call to like do that shit, I was like, what? Yeah, let's go do that. That's fucking fire. And that's all through my connections in Atlanta and all of that stuff. Sean Cassidy, the artist that I work with, he was doing a video with Energy with Drummer Boy, so I went to Miami with them to shoot the video. So we went to Miami. Drummer Boy met us there. Um, Also, I met a dude. His name's Crusade. He does Crusade Films. He is 50 Cent's traveling photographer and videographer. So anywhere 50 goes, Crusade goes with him. He's always just with 50. I call and talk to Crusade all the time. They're at all the fucking power events and all that shit, just traveling. And he's just a photographer, videographer, right? So he was asked to do the Young Buck video, but he's with 50, and Buck and 50 have drama, so he was like, I can't go do a Young Buck video. Chris, go do a Young Buck video, and that's how I got that job. So I literally I got Drum's number. He was like, "Yo, come," and Drum is from Memphis, but he was like, "Come to Nashville. We're gonna link with Young Buck." So I just literally drove to their hotel and like met with them. Buck just showed up, and we shot like 3 videos in 2 days. So, and it was just, Drum is just a really hard worker. It was dope to see somebody at his level still working like as hard as he does, and is just always at it. And that was just like a nice thing, for me to see, because it's like, I know I work that hard. Like, I know I'm constantly working, constantly doing this shit. So it's like, I just got to keep going, and it's going to come. What's up, Triple? I saw Triple just joined in here. Triple is a music artist from Atlanta. He's who I go and do all my work for. He just tried to call me, so that's why I ignored your call. But
Uh,
yeah, so going to work with Drum and Buck was just like dope as shit. Like, and to get paid to do it. Like, come on.
how do you find the time to like still have your personal life, but also still be as busy as you are?
It's hard. I'm getting better about doing the personal life too. And scheduling. I've learned that scheduling really works for me. So, like I told you, like I literally had to throw this in my calendar, because if it's not on my calendar, I'm constantly looking at my calendar and filling it in with things. So if it's not in the calendar and it's not locked in, it's not locked in, and I'm probably gonna overlook it and forget it. And so I'm trying to get better about having my times to like shut off and do home stuff and things like that. But really, I don't. I always have my phone. I always am, working. So I like to watch some TV shows and get high. Sometimes that's like my little wind down at night before I go to bed. Smoke a little bit and watch some TV.
Recently, you had done a music video a few months back with Four Seasons that recently just got put on No Jumper,
No
and
jumper.
No Jumper later on shared it to their Instagram because they fucked with it so much. What was that like for you, seeing your visual artwork that you helped make get put on like such a big platform like No Jumper?
That's cool. No Jumper was cool. Four Seasons is a super dope artist. I'm actually really excited. I'm gonna be working with him some more. Um, I just really fuck with his music, and I want to work with him more. And he's got, we put that on No Jumper, so that was cool, man. To see a bigger platform. Hopefully, something comes from it. Um, if you even rewind back a little bit to like Dayton music artists, are you hip to Josiah? You know
Yeah,
Josiah?
yeah, yeah.
So I gave Josiah his first few shows, like when he was free. So PHRE, like so he used to fucking message me, hey, can I come perform? I don't even know. I have a message from him. He's like, I don't even know how many people I can bring out, but I love to perform. Can I come perform? And I was like, yeah, like pull up, like let's do it. As soon as I saw him hit the stage, I was like, oh yeah, he's built for this shit. Like, and then it was like I started doing a few shows with him, and then he went out to like No Jumper. So, and then he went out there and did some like No Jumper interviews, and that's how he got put on with like Cole Bennett and Lyrical Lemonade and like all that shit. So it's cool to like make another connection with that, you know, like hopefully that's my whole thing. That's my whole like I want OnlyNoise to be known as like that Lyrical Lemonade brand out of like Dayton, Ohio. Like I feel like we have the talented artists and like the capabilities to do that here. We just need the media company to put it on for them.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to do.
I
So
feel that.
getting published or getting reposted by No Jumper, if I get reposted by like Lyrical Lemonade, like those are two things like that are dope as fuck. And I hope they continue to maybe post some things that I put out there.
To see like someone so recent get that traction, and now you got like guys like Yellow Pain, who a couple years ago was on Oprah doing interviews. Like it's cool to see the city finally getting some more recognition. I don't think it's to where it should be yet, but it's slowly getting
It's not there yet, but it's slowly getting there. You're right. Like Bubby's kind of leading the way right now with getting some big exposure, so that's really dope to see. And it's just, I say it on my podcast, like Dayton's full of talent, but it's usually full of people who like climb over the next person to try to beat it out for them. But there's really enough shine here from all of us, like, and that's a big thing that I'm trying to help promote.
Yeah, a lot of it to me anyway is it's an ego thing. Like a lot of these guys don't want to accept the fact that you might be more lyrically talented than another artist, but they're able to make a better song. Like sometimes people can't like make the correlation between making a song and actually being lyrical, because you could be lyrical but make bad songs. It's just how it is, and it's all about the finding the way to piece things together.
For sure.
So your Instagram right now is a new Instagram because your old one got hacked?
Yeah, someone took out my OnlyNoise Facebook page, and that was linked to the OnlyNoise Instagram, which that one also had like 1,000 some followers, like my personal page does. So yeah, we had to fucking restart the OnlyNoise Instagram, restart the OnlyNoise Facebook page. Luckily, I didn't lose the YouTube. They tried to take down my YouTube too, but couldn't. So yeah. And I just started a Studio 423 Instagram. I think we have like 30 followers, if that.
Oh, okay. I think I follow it, but if not, I'll make sure that after the interview I go and give it a follow and share it. Because my whole goal with what I do is I want to help build not just artists, but brands and content creators. Kind of like No Jumper. Like I always was under the impression before I started doing this that No Jumper was just like hip hop only. And then I found out that they fucking interview YouTube people that are just known for ridiculous off the wall shit.
Yeah, they do everything. And but that's it. That also goes to creating just a shit ton of content, creating just a shit ton of content, and then pushing music stuff to people like you, pushing YouTube stuff to people like who like YouTube videos and their creators. So it's just creating content under like every lane and avenue possible. Which that's why I try to grab everybody that I can on my podcast. I don't care if you're a music artist. I don't care if you're a comedian, chef, model, anything. So.
Yeah, you are actually the first non-artist I've interviewed.
Hey, there we go. Everyone always asks if I make music. I'm like, no. Do you make beats? No. You do this? No. I'm the brand with the plan with the camera, I guess. So,
growing up, what was like, what did your parents have you listening to when you were growing up?
Man, I listen to a lot of like soft rock stuff. I could listen to a lot of the whatever I wanted. It had to be edited. The first like my mom bought me Lil Jon's Crunk Juice album, and it was edited like the radio edit version, fucking of Crunk Juice. Like I had that. I had 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying, but that was like a radio edited censored CD. They let me listen to whatever I wanted. I was big on LimeWire. I was always illegally downloading songs and putting them on CDs and things like that. But I mean, people like you can go back to like the Three Doors Down, 3 Days Grace, like that sort of stuff that like my mom like listened to when I was a kid growing up. But I listened to Eminem. I was a big M fan, just being south of Detroit, you know. So
I guess that's true. Yeah, growing up, being from Detroit, there. So,
yeah.
what would you say has probably been the hardest thing for you in your journey of OnlyNoise?
The hardest thing.
Would you say it's probably like trying to like manage time?
That manage time, manage relationships, trying to find the right people to do the right things and weed out all the bullshit. That's gonna be the biggest thing. People will always tell you what you want to hear, and people will always boost your ego to try to get a deal or a better like price out of you. Or you just have to really watch people who use you for things rather than people you want to try to build with. That's been the toughest or hardest part.
And then to counter that, what would you say has probably been the most rewarding thing for you? Is it like seeing the finished product and like the positive feedback?
Yeah, I love like that's definitely dope. I love like let's just throw the C Money video for example, the Keep It Honest video that I did with Cam. Like I told him I just wanted to do a video for him. I didn't tell him I was gonna charge him, didn't tell him anything. It was just we were gonna shoot it. And when I got done with it and I sent it to him and he was like, dude, you're gonna be pissed at me. I need to buy this from you because he wanted to drop it on his page. And so being able, to like create things with what the artist like kind of had envisioned, or them trusting me with my vision and being able to like do something and work with artists on that level is dope to me. Like I like to create things and put my vision on stuff, and I think I do a pretty decent job at it. But
I've obviously seen a lot of your work. You're definitely good at what you do. You make good edits. You're good with the camera. So you said that Cam bought it from you, so you posted it on his channel. I've always been curious how that works because subscribing to your channel, I see sometimes someone's music video gets posted on your channel, and then other times it's uploaded to their own channels. How does that work? What is that about?
yes, that kind of comes down to like some pricing and who I really want to work with. And there's some artists that I really want to work with and do some stuff with that I did like cheap videos for, or like not even have them pay me anything to do videos. But then obviously it's got to get dropped on like the OnlyNoise channel. If it was up to me, I would drop everything on the OnlyNoise channel. But there's some artists that want to drop things on their own channel. That's why I do the like playlist method. If you look at like my page, all the videos that I shoot still pop up on like my homepage, even though they're not necessarily on my channel. But I only post like my content like that I make. It's not like you that just like you said, you're just posting everybody's like exposure type of stuff. But yeah, that's how that works. Is I just talk to the artist. I would really like to post everything on my channel, but sometimes they want to post it on there, so usually you have to pay a little bit more to like have the rights to like put it on there.
Right.
As a photographer and as a videographer, anything that gets shot out of this camera that gets put onto these memory cards is mine. I own it. Even though you might hire me for a music video, if I shoot the motherfucker, it is mine. Now, I can give you the rights to post it, and you hired me to edit it and put the work together for you. But as a creative, it's mine. Like, and that's just how it is. Like, it's like an artist. You own the songs and things that you create. So that all kind of like goes into everything, you know.
So this is actually pretty fast. It's rapid fire. It's this or that.
All right.
I present two
Okay.
mainstream artists. You'll tell me which one you would play in the car first. Which one you're going to ride around to.
Okay. Okay.
G-Unit or Slaughterhouse?
G-Unit.
Cardi B or Nicki Minaj?
Oh, I think I'm doing Nicki.
XXXTentacion or Juice World?
Juice. Yeah, I gotta go Juice on that one. I like both of them, but in that case, I gotta go Juice.
We got Machine Gun Kelly or Kid Cudi?
Oh, two Ohio artists, and those were actually two artists that were almost about to make it in that little mix of top artists. I got hip to Machine Gun Kelly long before he was famous. I watched him before tattoos. I met his videographer at a college party one time. It was a random story. And Kid Cudi has always just been like... Cudi. Cudi's a little bit more iconic. I have to.
G-Eazy or Jack Harlow?
I was a big G-Eazy fan for a while, but I think Jack is really growing on me. I like Jack.
Kevin Gates or Joyner Lucas?
Kevin Gates.
Wiz Khalifa or Young Thug?
Wiz.
Nelly or Akon?
Nelly.
Tory Lanez or Chris Brown?
Tory. I like Chris Brown a lot, and some people might, but Tory's dope as fuck. I almost wore a Tory Lanez shirt for the interview.
Bruno Mars or The Weeknd?
Weekend.
Jay-Z or Nas?
Jay-Z. I'm taking Jay-Z with that one. That's another good one.
Tupac or Biggie?
I've always listened to I know their music and stuff. I think I'm gonna go with Biggie. He was a little bit more fun. I don't know.
Outkast or Wu-Tang?
Outkast.
Eminem or The Game?
Oh, the Eminem. Even though the game's pretty hard.
50 Cent or Jadakiss?
50.
The Lox or Dipset?
The Lox are who?
Dipset.
Oh, Dipset.
E40 or Twista?
Twista. I like E40's West Coast, but Twista just was a lot. Yeah, he was that dude.
I feel it. Goody Mob or Bone Thugs and Harmony?
Both.
21 Savage or Kodak Black?
Kodak.
That's actually surprising. I was figuring you'd go 21.
And it's funny, I actually went to a 21 Savage show at Scully's years ago before he was big. No one really knew who he was. And I don't know. I like 21, but Kodak's been growing up.
I feel it. It's got a few more here. We got Absol or Schoolboy Q? J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar?
Oh, dude, with that one, with both of them together, that's a mood buster, but that's funny. I was listening to J. Cole radio the other day too, and I put Kendrick in my top 5. I guess I'll go. I guess I gotta stick with what I said earlier. Put Kendrick up there. If I don't say Kendrick, my top 5 schools.
Pusha T or Kanye?
Yay!
Lil Wayne or Drake?
Oh, old Wayne, new Wayne. I get to pick.
You gotta pick.
Oh, I guess we'll just go Wayne. I can get in them Wayne days to ride around to and pull up them old Carters and things like that.
I feel that. Gucci Mane or Jeezy?
Jeezy.
T.I. or Ludacris?
T.I. Oh, no, shout out Luda.
Gunna or G Herbo?
Gunna. Oh, G Herbo. Though.
Last one we got is Young Dolph or Nipsey Hussle?
Oh. I'm actually gonna go with Dolph on that one. I like Nipsey, but we was talking about riding around. We gonna go with Dolph.
All right. Well,
and shout out Drummer Boy again. Drummer Boy's worked with Dolph plenty of times. RIP to both of them.
If you guys are watching on YouTube, all of OnlyNoise's links will be in the description below. Their Instagram, their YouTube channel, their Facebook page. Be sure to tap in. If you're an artist watching this and need a videographer or a studio or want to promote yourself on TikTok, get a hold of Chris Daley. Just connect with him on his Instagram or the OnlyNoise Instagram, and he'll hook you up. I appreciate you coming on, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. It was a blast.
No problem. Take it easy.
See ya.